This video will demonstrate for you how to set up parameters and produce a DDS parental verification form. This form can be generated from the client or staff person's schedule. Starting from the main screen staff or client list, select the staff or client you wish to generate the PVR form for. Highlight the person. Open their schedules. Select the clipboard icon to launch the Service Action Review screen. On the screen, select the date range by clicking on the button with the three dots to the right of the month and year field. The Period Control Options tab will open, and here you will select the required date range. Once selected, click OK. Next, select the button with the three dots next to the service log at the bottom left of the screen. This will launch the Service Log Styles and Options screen. Here you will select the parameters for producing the PVR form. Select the Styles Parental Verification of Service radio button. There are four options for populating the Description of Services Provided field on the PVR form. Under Service Description Source, you may choose Service Name, which links to the service name and the services list. Appointment Subject is another option and links to the subject line of the appointment. The third option is a service log, which populates the form with the information entered in the service log field in the appointment. The fourth option is Other, which allows you to customize what is populated by writing it into the blank Other field on the Service Log Styles and Options page. There are three options for populating the Location of Service field on the PVR form. The first is Service Authorization. Service Authorization is linked to the Service Location field located in the Client Services tab. The Services Location is a hard-coded drop-down menu that lists a variety of options including home, school, agency, etc. Please note, it does not provide a physical address of where services were held. The second option is Appointment Location, which links to the location field on the appointment screen. Here you can manually input the location, including the address of the rendered services. Once entered, you may recur the appointment and the location will recur throughout the series. Option 3 is Other. As with previous examples, Other allows you to manually input here what you want to include on the PVR form. Note, once you have clicked OK, you've set the default parameters that will be applied unless changed. For example, if you choose Other for the service location source, whatever information is entered in that field on the Service Log Styles and Options page will automatically be included on additional PVR forms that you produce unless changed. There are three options for Credential Source, which populates the name and credentials of person providing service field in the PVR form. Primary credentials link to the Funding Source Services tab, credentials required for selected service. To use this option, you must have checked off a minimum of one required credential for the service and check the primary credential box for that credential as well. The second option is All Employee Credentials, which links to the credentials listed on the Staff Information screen Qualifications tab under Credentials box. The third option is Other. For example, here you can type BCBA. In this example, if you were to type in Other, then all staff who worked with this client would have BCBA listed in the Credentials field on the PVR form. Another option is to include the staff person's credentials after their last name in the Staff Information General Screen Address Information section. To select the funding sources, click on the icon to the right of the funding source field and select the funding source that you want to include in the PVR report. You can select one or multiple funding sources. To select the services, click on the right of the service field and select the services that you want to include in the PVR report. You can select one or multiple services. Under Services, you have the option to include 0 service time appointments. To include them, check the box which will result in any and all service appointments with 0 service time being populated on that report. If you select Format for DDS Behavioral Services, a header will be included on the report stating State of California Health and Human Services Agency on the left and Department of Developmental Services on the right. By checking Include Funding Source's name, the form will print the funding source name in a very light gray in the upper right hand of the printout. This was added so our patrons would have an easy way to sort the forms by regional center if need be. By checking the Separate by Service Code option, each service is printed on a different form, whereas if you don't separate by service code, all codes are printed on one form for the selected client, organized chronologically by date of service. By checking the Separate by Vendor ID option, each vendor ID will be printed on a different PVR form. In many cases, providers have only one vendor ID. Under Mutual Options, you can select Include Non-Rendered Appointments, which will then include light green or scheduled appointments, as well as rendered appointments. Include Cancellations will include all canceled appointments per your customized cancellation type. Once you have set parameters, click OK, and these parameters will be saved as a default until otherwise changed. To run the PVR form, click Service Logs. The PVR report will be generated and can be printed and/or saved.